Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaraachaarya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. त्रैलोक्यनाथ हरिमीड्यमुदारसत्वं शक्तेस्तनूजतनयं परमेष्ठिकल्पं जीमूतमुक्तविमलाम्बरचारुवर्णं वासिष्ठमुग्रतपसं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. Now we were looking at the 88th verse, I think, last class. So in the 87th verse, if you see, after the Acharya has addressed that Tattvamasi is only a statement of fact, and it is pointing out that the nature of the embodied consciousness is nothing but it is the same as the Sadvastu, which is the Jagat Karanam Brahma. So Jagat Karanam Brahma and the embodied consciousness are one and the same, they are identical. That is what is being pointed out by Tattvamasi. Like this, the Acharya concluded. And then in 87, the student is again going back to the main alternative interpretation of the Tattvamasi, you can say, which many other acharyas also do that. Okay, what is that? Saying that Tattvamasi is nothing but a vidhi vakya, and the vidhi there is that you have to do upasana. You have to do upasana that this Atma is Sadvastu. That point is again taken up. Actually, this was already addressed in one manner, saying that there is no vidhivakya, there is no vidhiling or lot or tavya or any kriya pada like that, correct? Any verb which is mandating upasana is not found in Tattvamasi. So it is different. Therefore, your interpretation that it is a vidhi, it is a mandate to do upasana is not correct. We already pointed out that. Now again the Acharya is taking that point because that is the main alternative interpretation. And in that, one more particular issue he is addressing here. Okay, what is that? So you said that there is no vidhi vakya here, but what if we bring the vidhi from somewhere else to here? Okay. Sometimes that is allowed because if a sentence is incomplete, we can supply a word there to make it meaningful, correct? This is very much possible. So the student again says that I only, in 87 he says that I only see it as that Sadvastu is upasya or Sadvastu is the object of meditation, and you have to do meditation that you are that Sadvastu. That's how I see it. Okay. But the Acharya in the next line says that if you look at it in that manner, but there is no vidhi there. Therefore, if you look at it as upasana karma, then it is false. It is not proper. It is not correct. Then in the 88 we saw the argument that what if I bring or supply the vidhi there? So yadi tasya kutaschid iha anayanam. Anayanam means bringing a word from somewhere else. That is called adhyaharya. Means you are supplying it extra. Or in a sutra literature, it is called anuvritti also. If you have studied Panini Sutra or even Brahma Sutra or even Yoga Sutra, different sutra literature, in sutra literature, we do not repeat a word. Once a word is used, it is then understood. Wherever it is required, it will be supplied there. Okay, that is called anuvritti. It flows. Now, like that, why can't we take the vidhi? We can supply the vidhi from somewhere else. Means even if you do that, it is useless, he says. Anayanam kriyate tad anarthakam eva bhave. It is not going to serve any purpose. Okay, and also why? Because if you supply whatever you want like that, Shruti will no more remain as Shruti. Shruti is supposed to be Apaurushaya. Okay, it is a revealed means of knowledge for us. It is a valid means of knowledge only because it is revealed. It is not created by any human intellect. It is not authored by any person or even groups of people and all that. We take it that even the rishis are not mantra krit. They are only mantra drashtaraha, we say. Okay, drashtaraha means they have seen it. It has been revealed to them and then they have taught it to their Shishya. And then, in fact, the whole Veda was only a single body of knowledge. At least the Puranic understanding of this is what? In the olden days, people had more medha. They could retain lot more in their intellect. Their memory was phenomenal. Therefore, the entire Veda was only one body of knowledge. But in each cycle of creation, one Vyasa is born. Okay. And when this Vyasa is born in the Dwapara Yuga, up to the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and even portions of Dwapara Yuga, people had the Medha Shakti to grasp the entire Veda, to retain it, to study it. But in the Dwapara Yuga, Vyasa, one Vyasa comes. In fact, our Vyasa is called Badarayanaha. Okay. Krishna Dvaipayanaha, Badarayanaha, that is the name of the Vyasa in the cycle of creation we are living now. That Vyasa comes and then reorganizes the Vedas into four, teaches it to four different Sishyas, and then they again teach it, and that's how it is available to us in the Kali Yuga. In fact, already we have lost many branches of the Veda. Okay, very few are available, actually speaking. The Samaveda is supposed to have 1,000 shakas. Only 3 are there today. Okay. Rigveda is supposed to have 100, I think. Only few are there. Like that, even Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda, all these things also, there were many, many shakas or branches or whatever versions of that. Only a few are available. Overall, the Veda shakas themselves will only number some 10 nowadays. That's all is there. So even that, whatever Vyasa reorganized, even that we are not able to protect it, correct? We are not able to keep it alive. Many of them have been lost. Some of them are there only as a text. They are not there as a oral living tradition. Anyway, so that Veda is Apaurushaya, and if you keep supplying whatever you want, whatever you like, it will no more be Apaurushaya. Okay, you cannot bring whatever you like. Okay, and then so here you cannot say I will supply the vidhi and make it into a vidhi. Veda, you have to understand as it is, whatever it is revealing, then only it's a valid means of knowledge for us. So this was said in the 88. Purushena kritasya yataha shrutita na bhavet. So if you introduce whatever is authored by any Purusha, any person into the Veda, then it will not remain Veda anymore. Okay, that's how the Veda Vidam Smaranam means. The Veda Vids, those who know the Veda as a Pramana, they understand it like that. Okay, and then in fact the next verse, the Acharya is sarcastically asking the Purva Pakshi. So what is that? We'll see. Very interesting. Kimare Purusham Pratibodhayitum Swakamartham Ashaktamidam Vachanam Yadatonyat Anayanam Kriyate Bhavata Shravanena Vinapi Vidhe. So, Bhavata, by you, Shravanena Vinapi, even though the Vidhi has not been heard from the Shruti by you, okay, Videhe Shravanena Vinapi, Anayanam Kriyate Bhavata, by you, you are bringing, you are supplying, correct? Anyataha, whatever is other than there in the Shruti, you are bringing new words and you are supplying it, even though it has not been heard from the Shruti there. Why are you doing that? He says, Kim Are. Are here is like a, sometimes Are is used as my dear also. But here it is used more like a pejorative. It's not a very endearing Are. It is hey, like that. Hey, can't you can't you understand the Tattvamasi as it is? He is asking, correct? So he says, Kim Purusham Pratibodhayitum Swakam Artham Ashaktam Idam Vachanam. Idam Vachanam here is this Tattvamasi. This Tattvamasi Vachanam, the sentence, whatever has been said, its own meaning, Swakam Artham, correct? Ashaktam, is it not capable of revealing its own meaning to you? Why do you have to bring any other word? It is meaningful as it is. If you say that it is, you are not able to make a meaning out of it or something is missing, then maybe you can supply based on the context and all that, what was said before, etc. But here it's not like that. Tattvamasi is complete in itself. It is able to reveal to you something which is very useful also, correct? But still, are you saying that this Tattvamasi does not have the capability to reveal its own meaning to you? Like that he is asking. And therefore, yad ataha, therefore what? You are bringing something else, that you have to bring another word and make it into a vidhi, like that. This is just maybe more of out of exasperation, you can say. He is, the Acharya is asking like that, hey, Kimare, Purusham Pratibodhayitum Swakam Artham Ashaktam Idam Vachanam. So this sentence, Tattvamasi, is it really that it cannot reveal its own meaning to you, to any person? Therefore, you have to bring some new verb and then make out a certain meaning. So this is the problem if you are not open, correct? See, if you accept the Shruti as a pramana, you have to go with whatever it is revealing, correct? But if you already have an agenda, you have already decided that Dvaitam Satyam, then you somehow want to interpret the words of the Shruti to fit your narrative, correct? This is what is happening. Nowadays, if you watch any news media and all that, that's what is happening, correct? Truth may be something, but media is only interested in peddling their narrative. They have an agenda. So if you already have an agenda, then you always see everything through that lens only, correct? It's like a jaundiced eye. For a jaundiced eye, everything is yellow. The real, whether it is really white or yellow or that, you don't know. Everything looks, everything is only yellow, like that. You can't do this. That's the idea. In fact, if I do that, what happens? That also the Acharya says next. Shrutaha niriha shruta kliptirapi shruti vitsamayo na bhavetu yataha shruti bhakti mata shruti vaktrigatam grahaniya mato natu buddhi vashat. So, even though whatever is said by the Shruti is meaningful, due to your own ragadvesha, your own agenda, if you do all these things, you bring in some new words and try to make up some meaning, means what is the problem? Shruta hanihi, means you lose whatever is revealed by the Shruti, that meaning you lose. Shruta hanihi means, hani means it is gone, correct? Whatever actually the Shruti is revealing, you are missing it. You are giving it up. Shruta hanihi. Then what? Ashruta kliptihi means what? Whatever is not said by the Shruti, you are imagining that. Okay, both are happening here. You are leaving whatever the Shruti is actually revealing, and then you are imagining something the Shruti is not actually revealing to you. Both are a big problem. Both are happening here. Because Tattvamasi is the greatest teaching. In fact, if you do not understand that, your loss is infinite, correct? Iha ched avedit ata satyam asti. Nached iha vedin mahati vinashtihi. Like that the Upanishad says. If you do not know this teaching, the loss is infinite, limitless. Mahati vinashtihi. It is mahat. It is the greatest loss. But you are ready to incur even that because of your own ragadvesha. So you give up whatever the Shruti is actually revealing and you imagine something which it is not really revealing. Both are a problem. And if you keep on doing like this, there cannot be any agreement, correct? Shruti with samayaha na bhavet means what? There cannot be any proper interpretation of the Shruti. Each person can come and give his own narrative, his own agenda, correct? You can never arrive at any conclusion that Shruti is only revealing this. That cannot be there. So we have to be very clear about the principles we use in interpreting the Shruti. That's why we have all those 6 Shad Linga also, correct? Upakrama, Upasamharo, Abhyasa, Apurvata, Phalam. Then Arthavado Upapatti cha Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye. So the Shad Lingas, how it begins, how it ends. Then what is repeatedly taught, Abhyasa, Apurvata. Whatever revealed by the Shruti should be unique. It should not be available through any other means of knowledge. Then only, in fact, it is Anadhigata. It is any pramana should reveal to us something unique. Then it has to be meaningful. It has to be purposeful for me. Phalam has to be there. Then whatever is praise, whatever is a story, all that also we have to understand properly. And then upapatti, whatever internal logic it is using. Okay, analogies, all those things also we have to understand correctly. Based on all these things only, we can arrive at the meaning of the Shruti, the Tatparya, what it wants to really reveal. So that is very important. You have to stick to those principles and interpret the Shruti as it is, not according to your own fancy and fantasies. So if you allow people to do that, then each person can come up with some interpretation and there will not be any conclusive understanding of what the Shruti is actually revealing. So Shruti with samayaha na bhavet. There cannot be any conclusion that this is what the Shruti is revealing. Therefore what? Shruti bhakti mata, those who have bhakti towards the Shruti, Acharya saying, means those who are all having Shraddha. Shraddha means what? Accepting the Shruti as the means of knowledge is Shraddha for us. And so those who have Shraddha, those who have bhakti towards the Shruti, that Shruti is the Antyam Pramanam, in fact, it is the ultimate means of knowledge. And so those who look upon the Shruti, the Veda as the means of knowledge, Shruti Bhakti Mata, Shruti Vaktrigatam Grahaniyam means what? Whatever the Shruti is revealing to you, Shruti Vaktr, whatever it is really speaking. Okay. Grahaniyam means what? You have to take it, you have to understand it, you have to grasp it as it is. Whatever the Shruti is actually telling, that you have to grasp. You should not introduce something, your own fanciful ideas into that, correct? Ataha natu buddhi vashat, not based on something which you like. Buddhi vashat means what? Your own kalpana, your own imagination, or whatever you like, whatever you dislike, you give it up. Whatever you like, you introduce it, even if it is not there in the Shruti. All this you cannot do. It cannot be based on your buddhi. Whatever is revealed by the Shruti, you have to grasp it, understand it as it is. Okay, then only you have the pramana buddhi towards the Shruti. Then only you have Shraddha. Then only you are a Shruti Bhakti Man. Okay, Acharya uses a beautiful word here. Shruti Bhaktiman, he says. Shruti Bhakti Mata, Shruti Vaktrigatam Grahaniyam. So whatever the Shruti is revealing, that you understand as it is, then only it will be helpful also. It will be meaningful to you. In fact, even after telling all these things, one of the objections can be that if Tattvamasi is understood as a fact, what do I get by just knowing something? Correct? This is the standard objection of the Purva Mimamsaka. Like I say, there is a place called Himalaya. Okay. It has very big, high mountains, snow-capped mountains. Okay. People go there and live in solitude. Fine. What do I get by knowing all these things? Unless I myself go there, you tell me how to go there, then it will be useful. Correct? Just giving facts, it is useless. That is one of the objections. So Acharya has to address that again. In fact, he has addressed this already, I think, before also. But again, he is going to talk about that. Let us see. Okay. In fact, Purushamya is there. That is a spelling mistake, I think. It should be Purushasya. So a lot of spelling mistakes are there here. So Purushasya should be there, but Purushamya has come here, which is not correct. So there is no word called Purushamya, correct? Okay, anyway. Purushasya sharira gatatmamatim mriti sambhava hetu manarthakarim apaniya sadatmamatim dadhati mahate purushasya hitaya bhaved. So now again Acharya is pointing out that by understanding Tattvamasi, then only you get the greatest benefit. In fact, there is nothing greater than that. That's why he says Mahate Hitaya, he says. And why he is using Mahate? Like I said, this Mahat word is used by Upanishad itself. Iha ched avedit atha satyam asti nachen iha vedit mahati vinashtihi. The word Mahat is used by the Upanishad also. So the Acharya also is pointing out. Also Brahmavid apnoti param. That's how the Taittiriya Upanishad Anandavalli starts, in fact. Brahmavid apnoti param. Brahmavid brahmaiva bhavati. All these words are there, correct, of the Shruti. So Mahate hitaya purushasya bhave. Only if you interpret Tattvamasi as Tattvamasi, you will get the greatest phalam, because it is limitless, in fact. Whatever you are gaining is the limitless, the infinite, and you do not want that. That is the crazy thing. Okay. So when do you get that? Only by understanding Tattvamasi as it is. Why? Because Tattvamasi, when you understand it, what happens? Purushasya sharira gata atmamatim. So normally everybody takes oneself as the embodied consciousness trapped within a particular body mind sense complex. Even there, the worst thing is what? You have the atmamati on the sharira itself. That's what he is pointing. Sharira gata atmamati means what? That you take the body as I. Once you take the body as I, all the problems of the body are your problems. So my body is fat, black, white, whatever, correct? There are so many problems. All the bodily problems. Every ache is your ache. This knee is aching, shoulders are aching, back problem also everybody has. I don't know why, but they all have back problem. Even young people, they can't sit also. For 1 hour, if you ask them to sit in a class on the floor, means they all go like this. You can't sit straight for whatever, some time. So all these problems, bodily problems, are your problem. All the more important is all mental problems are also your problem. All emotional problems. I am idiot. I am no good. I am useless. Nobody loves me. All these issues are there. Seeking validation all the time because you don't have a good opinion about yourself. You have to seek validation from others. All this is coming because you take yourself as the body mind sense complex, correct? Any sensory problems also your problem. I am not able to hear properly. I am not able to see properly. I am blind. I am dumb. I am deaf. All these problems. So senses also you have atmamati. Mind you have, intellect also you have. Everywhere you place your eye and then superimpose all the problems of anatma onto atma, then suffer samsari, aham shochami. Correct? You may gain any amount of knowledge. Worldly knowledge is useless here. That's what Narada goes to Sanat Kumara and says, I know so many things. I know everything. I know the four Vedas. I know all kinds of different disciplines of knowledge. But finally, what he says, aham shochami. Even the greatest scientists, some of them are partially mad, I think, anyway. So, so they may have IQ, okay, but they are all samsari only. They are all having problems because they have not analyzed themselves. They are all very highly analyzing the objective world, which is okay, but they have no idea about their own nature. That is the problem. And then Narada, but at least was informed, correct? He tells Sanat Kumara, Atmavit Tarati Shokam. So I have heard that those who know themselves cross over all sorrow. So he says, hey Bhagavan, please teach me. You have to teach me this Atma. Like that. So once you know that, what happens? Sharira Gata Atma Matim Mriti Sambhava Hetum. In fact, why this Atma Buddhi on the Sharira is a problem? Because then you take yourself as a mortal, correct? You take Mriti Sambhava Hetum. It becomes this Anatmani Atma Buddhi. What does it lead you to become? It makes you into a mortal, subjected to space time, because you think that you are somebody subjected to space time. You are one of the beings in this creation, which includes the space time, and anything in space time will be destroyed in space time itself, correct? If something is born, if you think that you are born in space time, you have to die in space time. It may be a long time, it doesn't matter. Understand that. Or it may be a short time, whatever it is. So it makes you into a mortal. That is the greatest limitation. Whatever you may accomplish, you are still an accomplished mortal. That's all, correct? So that's not going to go away once you have that buddhi. Sharira, gata atma mati, when it is there, then mriti sambhava hetu is there, means that you are going to die. Once the sharira falls off, you think that I am going to die. I will not exist. All these problems are there. That is anarthakarim. It is undesirable. Being a mortal is undesirable. That's why, in fact, everybody wants to live one more day. Your body may be creaking, correct? You require all kinds of support. Some people require support to breathe also. Even then what? You want to live one more day. Why? Because you are not able to accept your own mortality, correct? Okay, some people, but if it is becoming too much, they may say, okay, let me go. But even there, what? The Purushartha is always Sukha. Understand that. If you decide that in this life I can never have any Sukha, then you are ready to let go in the hope that maybe another life I will have Sukha and all that. That also is a possibility. But in general, people want to live one more day. Even the oldest guy, he was 6 feet originally. Now he has become 4 feet, like this. Okay. And holding on to a stick and all that, wants to live one more day. Yama comes and says, okay, shall I come today? No, no, you come tomorrow. Okay. Like that. People don't want to die because the mortality is something we are not able to accept. One's own mortality is a problem always. It is anarthakari, undesirable. But then once you understand yourself as this Sadatma, okay, Anarthakarim Apaniya. So the Sadatma Mati, that Aham Brahmasmi, Sadatmakatam Asmi, Asti, Mama, all this, once you understand yourself by understanding the Mahavakya, there are n number of Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, like that, Prajnanam Brahma, all these things we say, correct? Once you understand yourself as this limitless consciousness, who is the cause of this entire creation, then this Dehatma Buddhi goes away. Once the Dehatma Buddhi goes away, what? That is the greatest, because you are not anymore subjected to space-time. In fact, space-time is in you. That is the understanding. That being the case, you do not have mortality anymore. You transcend space-time. In fact, you are not subjected to any space or time or anything. As the limitless conscious being, everything is in you, in fact. So the Sadatma Matim Dadati Mahate Hitaya Purushasya. So for the person who understands this, for whom the Dehatma Buddhi is gone and Sadatma Buddhi is there, correct? Sadatma Mati, that Aham Sadvastu Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asi Ekameva Advitiyam, that Sadvastu is nothing but me. Tattvamasi is the teaching, correct? Aitadatmyam Idagam Sarvam. All that is there here, I am the self of all, Sarvatma Bhava. That is the greatest one can gain. Therefore, there is this Phalavat Artha Bodhakatvam is there. Phalam is there for Tattvamasi. You cannot say that there is no use, because you have lost your own limitlessness only due to ignorance, correct? The only difference or the separation between you and your own reality is your own self-ignorance. And that can go only by knowledge. Self-knowledge alone is enough. You don't have to do anything, because it is accomplishing the accomplished. So the Purva Mimamsakas do not understand accomplishing the accomplished, or they don't want to understand. So they keep saying that just by knowing fact, what is the use? Unless you have to do something, then only you will get some phala. No, that's not true always. Understand that for accomplishing the unaccomplished, knowledge alone is not enough. You have to do something. But for accomplishing the accomplished, knowledge alone is enough. Even a statement of fact can be the greatest blessing which you can have. Okay. So that's all is required. A change in the way you look at yourself. Even in normal life, change in attitude can mean a big thing, correct? Just by changing your attitude. Even all these self-help gurus, so many people are there. All of them are talking about what? Only changing your attitudes. Even Karma Yoga is that only. It is Buddhi Yoga, really, correct? Bhagavan uses the word Buddhi Yoga. Whatever may be the situation you are in, just the way you look at it, if it changes, even relatively, you are going to gain a lot. You are going to gain a certain freedom, correct? So the way you look at things, if you are able to change that based on facts, then that is very useful actually. You cannot say that there is no use for that. So Mahate Hitaya Purushasya Bhavet, for any person, this is the greatest good, okay, greatest blessing you can say. So it is there. So you cannot say there is no phala. Now the person can say one more thing. No, how can you say that? I have seen so many people who have listened to Upanishads, nothing is happening to them. In fact, this is a problem. If you become a Vedanta student, what is the problem? There are many people who will come and say, okay, are you attending Vedanta class? Yes. But no use. I don't see any change in you. You are still the same. In fact, it becomes a problem. At least previously they accepted you. Okay, there was no expectation from you, so whatever may be your behavior, etc., they were ready to accept. Now they say, no, no, you are Vedanta student, and still you are like this, like that. They are ready to point out all your issues now. Okay. In fact, you yourself become acutely aware of all that. That is one problem of Vedanta, I think, at least initially. You still, till the time you get a certain leisure and you are able to look at yourself objectively, it can be a problem. Anyway, so Acharya again is pointing out that, yeah, even if somebody doesn't understand, over a period of time, they will understand. Okay, but for a Uttama Adhikari, even even teaching, listening to it once or a few times is good enough. Okay, so he again assures, what does he say? Vinivartatayeva shariragata viparita matih purushasya tada vachanena tu tattvamasiti yada pratibodhyata yeshata ityapicha. So he says, Vinivartata eva shariragata viparita matihi. So shariragata viparita matihi. This is what we already saw, correct? Taking oneself as the body, mind, sense complexes. All this Atma Buddhi in the Anatma, that is all viparita mati, correct? It is viparita means what? It is contradictory. It is wrong knowledge. In fact, viparita matihi, wrong understanding, wrong notions, thinking, taking oneself as the body, mind, sense complex, that goes away. He says, Vinivartata eva, it indeed goes away. Purushasya, for any person, when tada, when vachanena tu tattvamasi yada pratibodhyate, when you hear the tattvamasi, the teaching, the Mahavakya, when once you understand that, okay, yada pratibodhyate means you understand that clearly. Once you understand the teaching of the Veda, which is tattvamasi, once you understand this great equation, okay, this Mahavakya, then this idea that I am an embodied consciousness or I am this body mind sense complex, all these things does go away. Indeed, it goes away. Okay, there's no doubt about that. For some, it may happen immediately. For some, it takes some effort. That's all. There is no big deal here. Once you have a certain qualification and then subject yourself to proper teaching, correct? The teaching you have to subject yourself. In fact, it has to be formal study. It cannot be something casual. You take some paper back and read over the weekend and all that. It's not going to work that way. That can be a start. In fact, it can give you some interest and all that. Or apatata jnana, general knowledge you can gain of Vedanta by studying some book and all that. But afterwards, you have to go and study this like any other subject matter. If you want to become a physicist, you have to enroll yourself in some university and study formally, correct? There are some brilliant people who may not have had formal education and all that, but even those people benefit by having formal education. Understand that. Okay. So there was a great mathematician called Ramanuja in India. He even today they are trying to prove many of his theorems and all that, whatever he found. In fact, he said that the goddess comes in his dream and reveals to him all these mathematical formulas and theorems and all that. He was like that. But he also went to Oxford, and I think Oxford or somewhere in England, and he was also formally trained and all that. But unfortunately, he died very young. He couldn't adjust in England and the weather and all that. But what I am saying is, even those who are prodigies, they also gain something, because if you are not undergoing formal education, you cannot be a teacher yourself. At least that is very important. For you to teach, you should not only know, but you should know how to teach also. Correct? You should know the methodology of teaching. So anyway, you have to undergo formal study, and then this Tattvamasi will become clear to you. There is no doubt about that. You will understand, and by understanding that this Sharira Gata Viparita Mati, these wrong notions that I am this body, mind, sense complex, that will go away. Definitely, there is no doubt about that. Okay. So by hearing the Guru Vakya, so Shravana is the most important thing. Understand that. The teaching, you have to keep listening to the teaching. In fact, Sureshwaracharya says that if somebody complains that I did not understand, means only thing we say is again, listen to it again. Keep listening again and again till you understand. Correct? There is no better thing than attending a Vedanta class. Or at least nowadays recording and all is available. In those days there was no recording. You had to sit with the Guru. And that's why they had all these huge books also, correct? In fact, you can keep on studying. You start with some sutra, then bhashya, then tika, then the bhashya has a vartika, vartika has a tika. Like that, it is like a pyramid. You can keep on studying your whole life. And so at some point in time, you have to understand, correct? That's the idea, I think. So if you feel that, no, I have already studied that, no problem. I have a new text. I have a new commentary. I have a new prose commentary. I have a new verse commentary. That verse commentary has another prose commentary. Prose commentary has another verse commentary. Like that, it keeps on going. So you can keep on studying till it makes sense to you. Something has to click, correct? You have to see it yourself. And that will happen. That's what the Acharya says here. Continuing. यदि नापनयेत् श्रुतिरात्ममतिं पुरुषस्य शरीरगताम् अनृताम् तदहं मतिहेतुक कर्मगतिं सुखदुःखफलाम् avashoनुभवेत्. So what if you do not understand what the Shruti teaches, or if the Shruti cannot teach you that? Now the Acharya is pointing out that also. He says, yadi na apanayet. If it is not going to remove what? Or Shrutihi na apanayet atmamatim purushasya shariragatam. So purushasya shariragatam atmamatim na apanayet means what? If the Shruti does not remove your wrong notion that I am this body, correct? It is not able to do that, correct? Then what? In fact, that is anritam, he says. It is false. It is wrong notion. It is incorrect notion that I am this body. Whatever you see cannot be you. It's very simple, correct? Vedanta is very, very simple. All you have to do is always keep in mind that whatever I know is not I. Whatever I know is my object of knowledge. It can never be I. Therefore, I am only this conscious being. And then the Shruti says that conscious being is no different from the limitless conscious being, which is the cause of this entire world. Therefore, you are that. That's all. It's a very simple teaching, actually. But if you are not able to understand that, and the Shruti is not able to remove your Atmamati, because it is very strong, correct? This taking oneself as the body, mind, sense complex is not something which anybody has taught you. It is Naisargikaha. It is, in fact, not only in this Janma. We say that it is coming from Janmantra also, correct? So many Janmas, lives and death have happened, and still it is continuing. So it is Balavat. So you have to put in some effort to overcome all this wrong identification. But if it is not able to remove that, what? Then what? Tad aham mati hetuka karma gatim sukha dukkha phalam avashaha anubhavet. Avashaha anubhavet means what? Without any, you cannot do anything about it, correct? Avashaha means it's not under your vasha, your mastery. You will definitely, you have to undergo, you have to experience what? Sukha dukkha phala, sukha and dukkha, correct? Happiness, sorrow, everything you have to undergo. Joy and sorrow, you have to undergo. helplessly you have to undergo. In fact, helplessness is what is the problem. Most human beings feel helpless. Correct? That is the greatest suffering, I think. So helplessly you have to undergo this experience of sukha and dukkha. Why? Because, and why do you have to undergo all that? Means we say it is karma, your own karma only. Because you take yourself as karta bhokta, you identify with the body mind sense complex, means you are taking yourself as doer and enjoyer. Once you take yourself as a doer and enjoyer, you have to helplessly undergo the experiences which are going to come to you due to your own karma. So, tad ahammati hetuka karma gatim, he says. Ahammati here means the I thought, the ego. So, once you identify with the I thought is nothing but I am karta bhokta, correct? I am doer, I am enjoyer. The I thought is always associated with the doer and the enjoyer. And once that identification is there, then you are subjected to karma, correct? That I thought itself becomes the cause for you to inherit all your sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, whatever, or even it is going to also, you will also have all the karma hereafter also, agami karma also, all kinds of karma, you then become subjected to karma. Once you become subjected to karma, you cannot avoid sukha and dukkha. You have to undergo these experiences in life and then suffer. So you cannot avoid that. If the Upanishad is not able to reveal to you your true nature, then due to the wrong notions, you will be suffering. There is no other way. No other knowledge or action or anything can prevent this. Every other accomplishment is only within this same framework also, only, correct? Within the samsara only, every other accomplishment is there. Whatever you may become Indra Chandra, if you take yourself as a jiva, you cannot escape still experiencing sukha and dukkha. So that is a problem. Will not go away. But if you understand, then what? So let us see. Yedi tattvamasiti vaded vachanam sadupasana karmana tattvamatim purushasya phalam sadupasanataha vimrishami bhavishyati kidrigiti. Okay. So now in fact Acharya goes further, says, so already he has pointed out that if you understand, you get mahat hitam, correct? Great benefit is there, great good is there. But if you do not understand, you will be a samsari. Now he is going further. He says, Yedi tattvamasi iti vaded vachanam sadupasana karma na tattvamatim. So if you take this tattvamasi is only asking you to do upasana, correct? It is a vidhi vakya. It is mandating you to do some activity, some action. In this case, it is a mental action, correct? Because upasana is a mental karma. So, yadi tattvamasi iti vaded vachanam sadupasana karma. So, if it is revealing to you, if you take it as that it is revealing to me to do upasana, that I am this sadvastu, and not to be taken as reality, correct? Na tattvamatim. It's not revealing to you your own reality, a factual, it's not a factual statement. It is simply asking you to imagine yourself as sadvastu, do upasana, mental visualization. If it is there, then what? Purushasya phalam sadupasanataha vimrishami bhavishyati hidrigiti. Then what? He says, what kind of phala are you going to get? He says, by just doing this upasana, if the Tattvamasi is not a factual statement and it doesn't reveal your reality, what kind of Purushasya phalam, he says, Sadupasanataha. By doing this Sadupasana, from this Sadupasana, what kind of a phalam will be there? Purushasya phalam bhavishyati kidrig. Kidrig means what kind? What kind of phala will be there? Okay, Vimrishami means I wonder. What kind of phalam are you going to get? Means what? It is alpam. It is in fact useless, really speaking, compared to what Tatvamasi can give you by understanding it as a factual statement, revealing your own reality. Your loss is really infinite, in fact. Anything else other than the limitless is only limited, finite, correct? So your loss also will be infinite. Mahati vinashtihi, like the Upanishad says. Therefore, that's what will happen, in fact. So further he will talk in the same manner. Let us see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Rubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.